Hello guys, here with a new video for the channel. I hope you like it, and if you like it, don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment, and subscribe. Now without further ado, get comfortable. Let's begin.
The incredible power of the destroyer god Beerus had been so much that it would leave Daishinkan very surprised, since he had been surpassed by hundreds of times. Father wouldn't be surprised with so little, since that's only 50% of Beerus-sama's power. Was Beerus really serious when he said it was only 50% of all his power? How did they manage to get all those wisp powers? We meet again, priest. Don't worry, it's not any evil power. I personally have taken care of training them. I understand that you've taken the time to train them, but it's impossible that they have improved so much in such a short time. Training with the best. One way or another it changes you, because they had to adapt to my power. Remember, priest, everybody has a survival instinct, so either you adapt and fight, or you stay in the place where you are and die. I don't know what you are or who you are, and I'd love to know your origin, and I thank you for saving my life. Don't worry, priest. After this training battle, I want you to gather all the gods and angels in this palace of the one who calls himself the ruler of the whole. Okay, Kakarot-sama, whatever you order. Kakarot, with a small part of his power, was able to Daishinkan to recover completely and even restore all his energies. Daishinkan would put a very serious look as he was very thoughtful. How is it possible for a Saiyan to be able to possess all this power? It's true, I don't compare myself to his power, but it must not be an easy thing to restore all of my energy. Returning to the battlefield, both warriors had destroyed several planets, in which the demon was very badly injured by the incredible blows that Beerus connected to him. How's it possible that a pathetic being from these universes is capable of harming me? You've only faced the wrong warrior, since you even have the necessary power to bend the High Priest. I don't care what I have to do. I promise I'll destroy you. On the other hand, in a very distant place from everything existing in a kingdom, which was known as the spiritual kingdom, Zama would wake up after having slept for billions of years. That's right, Zama, being the first presence of that existing void, would be considered a celestial, and having the feats of giving his life to end evil, he was worthy of belonging to the celestial kingdom. Zama, very confused, would stand up, but in front of it, a beautiful woman with silver hair would stop him. So, after millions of years, you have woken up. You really are gifted, because even the greatest geniuses take much longer than you. Who are you? Where am I located? What is this place? I died? Oh, so many questions. Don't worry. I'll help you answer each one, so it'll be better to leave in search of your answers. Both would leave quickly while Zama was flying over all the territory. He would realize that it had a similar appearance to paradise, since they were large green areas until they came to a large fountain. Because there are too many questions that you have, it'll be better that you drink a little of the water of wisdom. It'll grant you the answers that you're looking for. Zama, a little incredulous, he would drink such water in which millions of memories, and even he was able to observe the final explosion and granting a large part of his power to his successor. Am I dead? I wouldn't know how to answer that question exactly, but you will always live in this world, which is known as the spirit realm. What other warriors live in this place? There are not so many warriors, since only a few are chosen to live in this world, but the warriors who are here are people who did something relevant in history. What have you done for you to be in this world? Although it may not seem like it, I'm the queen of space-time, and I was able to save all the timelines that exist, because if I don't, the entire multiverse would explode. You really are a hero, but what if I don't want to be in this place? No one has ever said that. Don't you like this place? Of course I like it, but there's something that I still haven't solved in the world of the living, and my son, my successor, is in danger, since two beings just as powerful as me are still alive. Around both of them, hundreds of shadows had covered everything. That's right, while a warrior was approaching towards both of them, with every step he took, the ground and everything around him was shaking.
Didn't you like the spiritual realm? I'm the leader of this place, and even several gods know me as the founder of this place. How does the founder of this place possess a lot of negative energy? Negative energy is not only used for evil, because if you really want to do something for the universe, it doesn't matter what essence or energy you possess. I agree with you on that aspect, but please, let me out of this place. Even if I wanted to let you out of this place, you'd die, because when you just wake up, your body must adapt to everything, and even in this new place, if you leave here with such low power, you'd be turned into simple dust of space. How long does it take for you to be able to leave this place? You have to wait about a century, because for gods like us is no problem, but in case you want to do it, try. Zama, in the hope of being able to leave the place, he would try taking out one of his limbs, but at the moment of doing so, his arm would be turned into ashes, as if a very hot fire had turned it into simple dust. Hell, I have no choice but to totally trust Kakarot. Returning to the battlefield, the demon would have been totally massacred by Beerus. But before Beerus finished with him, Kakarot would speak to that guy. Tell me, who sent you to this place? Kakarot would be upset as he felt like that demon had spat in his face. For that very reason, it has a horrible ending. I'll not kill you because if I do, I'll be informing them that there is a capable being of exterminating you. What? Didn't you mean to end my life? Of course not. Now I'll seal you in my Ozaru body, in which you'll always be tortured by me. Although they'll only be mental attacks, but you'll feel it so real you'll ask to die. The demon would try to flee, but it was too late, because at the moment, Kakarot was able to make a great beast appear all over the universe. This beast, with a big bite, had swallowed him up, leaving him absolutely nothing. Ozaru, come to me! Ozaru seal activation! Hundreds of purple energy ices began to neutralize the body of that demon, which was not able to do anything, and due to his screams, Kakarot of hundreds of shadow spirits was able to seal his mouth completely. Since you didn't want to talk, I've taken away the possibility for you to. Kakarot-sama, is that the limit of all your power, or does it have a lot more hidden power? This is only a small part, but we must have great power to be able to face the real destroyers. True destroyers? What do you mean, Kakarot-sama?
I'll explain this more in detail to everyone, but it'll be better if we go to the ruler's palace, since I want to explain it only once. Everyone would arrive quickly since Kakarot's speed was impressive, while with Reich, he was very thoughtful.
What happened? I'm not able to feel the demon energy I sent, but his vital signs are stable.
What's going on, Reich? I can only feel how power has gotten a little out of control since, like all your emotions. Has something bad happened?
No, not at all. I'm just not able to connect with the demon that I sent to destroy all universes.
Ha 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 ha! Don't worry about it, Reich. Do you think anyone has enough power to face a demon with the essence of your powers?
You're right, Gelshin. I'm just getting too worried.
Returning to the kingdom of the whole, Daishinkan would make a call to all the gods and angels who, realizing the threat of which Daishinkan had informed them, had headed at a great speed. The instant they arrived, they would all bow down to the great priest.
We must not waste time. I present to you the Saiyan who is even able to overcome my power and make Whis and Beerus have much greater power than mine.
I introduce myself. I'm the successor of the powerful Zama, or the one you know as the creator of the Super Dragon Balls. 2 potential enemies are approaching. I don't have an exact date, but it'll be the most catastrophic war and battles of all the universes.
I don't know. You have to prove some of your power for us to be able to trust you, because these seem like pure fairy tales. God of Universe 11, for that comment, I'll exterminate you right now.
Don't worry, Daishinkan. Beings without any knowledge, they're not able to understand that there are beings much more powerful than them outside the 12 universes. Kakarot at that moment would expel only 5% of his power, with which he was able to make all the gods and angels fall. No one was able to move, even Belmaud, who he was not able to do anything, while Beerus would approach Belmaud.
You're a clown. You never knew how to control your mouth. I hope you'll be able to get out of this meeting alive. I can't move a single finger. How is it possible that the Beerus is able to move freely?
If you ask why Whis and Beerus are able to move freely, the answer's simple. They were under my teachings.
Zama, despite using all his power, and even the power of destruction, was not able to do anything. Kakarot would stop releasing all his pressure.
I hope that this demonstration of power will be enough, because next time, the demonstration will be to rip your head off with just one of my fingers. Do you understand?
That's right, Kakarot-sama. I'm really sorry for my disrespect towards you.
Meanwhile, in the inner world of Kakarot, the demon tried to free himself by any method, but it was practically impossible for him, since he was not able to do anything. However, the great Uzaru would approach the demon.
I feel like moving my muscles a little. If you're able to cause me a little scratch, I'll leave this place.
The threads that had him tied faded away, while the demon would begin to move at great speed. However, for that Uzaru, it was easy to follow this speed, so the demon would attack him from his blind spot. But the Uzaru, with his tail, was able to send him to a mountain to fly. When the demon stood up, a lot of blood would come out of his whole body.
You only gave me a slight blow, but it's caused me incredible damage. What the hell is the skin of this beast made of? I had expectations about you, but apparently I have more fun in my mental trainings. I'd better imprison you again.
The demon would try to make a move, but the threads were able again to neutralize him, while shadows completely covered his mouth. At the end of the meeting of all the gods and angels had the mission to become much more powerful, while Kakarot would remain in the kingdom of the whole to grant a great training to the great priest.
Whis, Beerus, I want you guys to supervise the training of all the other gods and angels, as we'll need all the power that can be collected.
As you order, Kakarot-sama.
And you, Daishaken, are you ready for the training you're about to receive?
Of course I will. I'll endure it, and I'll become useful in this great war.
That's how Kakarot, along with Daishaken, started with his rigorous training. That's right, Kakarot, despite being only a Saiyan, was able to train the deities of Universe 7, and this time, he would even begin to train Daishaken, who had a much higher level of learning than Whis. Returning to the remoteness of the universe with the two remaining gods, Gelshin, a little more recovered, was able to move. However, his body still had several injuries, which were able to limit him, and even he was not able to enter into battle.
You're getting closer. A few more years and we'll be able to free ourselves from those damn wounds and end everything once and for all.
Kakarot, despite having all the divine support, he was very thoughtful, and even though he had not taken a great training, his power was gigantic, so much so that he was even able to possess a part of the Ultra Instinct at his base state.
The power I possess is incredible, but I feel that it's not enough to face both gods who didn't fall because of my father's explosion.
Kakarot-sama, what is wrong with you? I've seen him thinking for several days now.
Whis, we're getting ready. We've been able to defeat a demon from one of the four hells, but something's not right.
Don't worry, Kakarot-sama. With your great power, there's nothing to fear.
No, Beerus, you're completely wrong. Because in any corner of the universe, there will always be beings much more powerful than us.
But Kakarot-sama, his father, the mighty Zalama, was the first god, so there must be no one more powerful than the creator of everything.
In one part, you're right. My father created what is now known as the 8 multiverses, but outside of those multiverses that exists?
Isn't the infinite void, Kakarot-sama?
There are beings who believe the same as you think, Whis, but my thinking's different. I think that outside of everything, in the same way there's life and beings that we don't know.
But that's right, Kakarot was totally correct. Since crossing the 8 multiverses created with the power of Zama, there were dozens of worlds, in which even one of them was called the Forbidden World, due to all the beings that seemed to have no limit to their power.
Freak, it's time. We've been able to recover completely, or are you still in bad condition?
No, Gelshin. I'm already recovered anyway, so it's time to end that damn nuisance.
Both warriors, when they stood up, released an incredible power, which was able to destroy millions of planets. All the deities felt such pressure which did not allow them to move freely.
So this is the pressure of the beings we have to face. But thanks to Kakarot's training, I'm able to withstand it.
Kakarot-sama, apparently the last two gods have come forward.
You're right, Whis. It's time to put an end to the whole damn story. I plan to defeat them to honor my father's death. But at the incredible pressure it would be perceived even in the Heavenly Kingdom where Zama was, Mayuki, he also felt such pressure, but he would give a small smile. Whose pressure's that? They look like simple worms want to raise their power. Zama would be very surprised by Mayuki's comment because for Zama, it was an incredible power. Don't tell me, Zama, that pressure amazes you? They're simple worms that barely, and their power reaches the level of a priest. You're wrong, Mayuki. This power is much greater than the power of a priest. I'm sure of that. But that wouldn't matter to us, since we don't belong to that world anymore. Mayuki, please. My son must be in danger. I'm begging you. There must be a way to get out of this place. There's a way, but you'll only be able to go to that place for 1 hour. Okay, I just wanted to give a few recommendations to my son to get ready to finish those bastards. It's okay, Zama, I'll help you. Mayuki would begin to raise a little of his divine power, with which the body of Zama would be covered in a green, great light. At the end, a very different Zama could be observed, since his appearance seemed that of a simple human, but negative energy radiated from his entire body. What is this, Mayuki? In order for you to be able to get out of this place, you have to have a much more resistant body, and in the same way, master the negative energy. That means that with this body, I'm able to master the negative energy. That's right. Not in its entirety, but in a good part. Since you cross the barrier of both worlds, you only have 1 hour. That's more than enough, Mayuki. I swear, I'll return this favor to you. Zama, with his great speed, would begin to cross all the barriers of the Celestial Kingdom. Meanwhile, in the 12 universes, Reich was able to feel the presence of Kakarot, being a very similar energy. After so many millions of years, I'm finally able to feel that damn energy again. This'll be a lot of fun. I want to destroy everything in my path. But in front of the both warriors, all the Divine Kingdom would stand in front of them, and between all of them, Kakarot would take a big step to the front, which caused hundreds of catastrophes with each of his steps. So you're the ones who want to put my father Zama on the ropes? Apparently the damn Zama. I grant you the knowledge in the same way. Reich, without being left behind, would begin to release his power, leaving Kakarot very surprised. That's right, the power that Reich was releasing would leave him surprised, realizing that despite the great training he had given to the divine beings, it would all be impossible for them to endure this great battle. Kakarot would observe them all, and without warning, he would create a big hole, with which he'd also absorbed them all, disappearing at that moment. What are you trying to do? You should know that if you die, the garbage you're trying to protect will still. Of course I know, but for that reason I'm not allowed to lose. I plan to finish with each of you, even if it costs me my life. The warriors fell into place far away from the 12 universes, but when they tried to leave that planet, a great barrier would prevent them. What the hell? Why has Kakarot-sama done this? We've trained very hard to be of help in this great battle. No, Whis, if Kakarot has done this, it'd be for a big reason. You surely realize that we wouldn't have the required power. Before Whis was able to say anything, in space they were able to observe hundreds of three-dimensional cracks which were caused by the clash of their fists. Really, even though we trained, we wouldn't have been able to withstand a single one of his fists. This is amazing. Even me, being a priest, I look like a simple ant. Best thing we could do is to entrust all our energy towards Kakarot-sama, for him to take care. I'm ashamed to say, but even I wouldn't be able to do anything. All the warriors began to channel the power so that it received by Kakarot. Meanwhile, returning to the battlefield, the fight between Kakarot and Reich, the first prince of the underworld, seemed to be very even. But in each exchange of blows, Kakarot looked more injured. Kakarot, with his great speed, would take distance, but when he appeared after a mountain, Reich, with his great physical strength, he connected a powerful blow to the stomach, which made him create great destruction, being sent to fly to hundreds of mountains around him. This has been a waste of time. I thought that being Zama's successor, I would have had the same power. But I've been wrong. Kakarot, with that blow, he had completely lost his defense. That's right, Reich's blow was so powerful that it left him very stunned. Not satisfied with this, Reich, without waiting for him to recover, would begin to grant him millions of blows all over his body. Kakarot would fall to the ground again and again. I cannot lose. I'm not allowed to lose. I'm the god who will bring peace to everything around me created by my father. The beating Kakarot was receiving was one of the most brutal in his entire life. I'm tired of playing with you. I'd better finish with you. Frake's fist was heading towards the heart of Kakarot, but from all the space, a great being would appear, just as an opposing was felt all over the place.
Stop! Do they even want to die?
Frake's fist would be destroyed. That's right, the simple pressure was able to destroy every one of his bones. Goshen would release a little more of his power, with which he was able to withstand the pressure.
Who the hell are you? I had no idea which multiverse has such a powerful warrior. You're not worthy to know my name. Only you should know that if you touch this warrior again, I'll end your miserable life. Damn, I don't care who you are, but I'm the prince of the underworld, so you have to speak to me with respect. Ha ha ha. Respect? You're nothing but scum.
Frake would pounce against Zalama. Goshen would try to stop him, but it was useless. Frake, who has invaded by anger, would start exchanging blows with Zalama. But Zalama dodged each one of his blows with great elegance.
This can't be happening. I'm one of the first gods to exist. Pathetic warrior can't humiliate me like this. Humiliate you? Ha! I haven't humiliated you yet. But very soon you will know the real humiliation. Shut up! 1,000 rays from the underworld!
Thousands of rays would collide with the whole body of Zalama. Frake, confident that he had pulverized it, was surprised to realize how his powerful attack had been nothing for that warrior.
Who is he? He's humiliating Frake completely. Oh, join since we're in this together. I'm not gonna let my best friend get killed.
Goshen, along with Frake, began to attack Zalama from all sides, but the speed of both gods was insufficient to reach Zalama. Both were sent flying with hundreds of wounds all over his body, while Zama would approach the body of his beloved successor, placing one of his hands on Kakarot's chest.
You've done well, my son, but you have to master your power completely.
Zama, with his touch, had been able to transmit much more knowledge of the battles and had restored his power completely.
Damn, how the hell did he hit us? I wasn't able to see anything. That warrior must be a super warrior who's been taking care of Zalma's offspring. Goshen and Frake, I never wanted to go to these extremes, but you have searched for everything that happened. How is it possible that you know our original names? I was the one who created the big explosion. I can't die. I just transform my energy. Damn Zalama.
Zama, with as little of his demonic power, was able to summon a door that radiated darkness just like its color was black. Instantly the door opened, Zama would throw both gods with great brutality.
It would take them several years to get out of that dimension. Zalama, when you get out of this damn dimension, rest assured we'll wipe out every being that exists in all multiverses.
Zalama would take his successor and head towards the planet, on which he had easily destroyed the barrier into hundreds of pieces.
But who are you? Despite your negative energy, I feel no bad intentions in you. You're a great observer. That's right, this is a borrowed body. I'm Zalama, and I was not going to allow my successor to die.
But if you're the legendary god Zalama, all the gods would make a bow. Just like the angels, Zeno-sama would approach towards Zalama. Mighty Zalama, what's the reason why you don't end those threats yourself? He has the power to do it.
You're right, Zeno-sama, but I don't belong to this world anymore. So if I interfere or annihilate any beings from these worlds, something much worse can happen. We'll take care of Kakarot, Zama, and I assure you that this great battle will be able to win it. I'm counting on you, as you have great powers.
The time of Zalama had ended, so he would be transported back to the Celestial Kingdom, in which Miyuki would approach Zalama. I didn't know who was capable of putting you in that desperate situation, but apparently a successor really exists.
That's right. Since everything created by me, I don't want a bastard to destroy it.
Don't worry, I've been able to realize the potential that your son has, and he will not be defeated so easily. Meanwhile, inside Kakarot, he was meditating. My father's been able to help me. He was able to save me. I have to become more powerful and surpass my powers. I have to be able to destroy this great barrier. Kakarot was saying this to himself, while observing a great distance between his power and a power within which he wished to reach. Kakarot, for several minutes, was observing all the great amount of energy that came from the inner part to which he was not able to enter. Even if my body's destroyed, I intend to destroy this whole place, to enter the new level of power that place will give me. Kakarot, being inside his body, would begin to increase his body to the limit, while on the outside his whole body was suffering incredible damage, since too much blood was spreading from all over Kakarot's body. Daishinkan, with the help of Angel, they began to heal him, but despite using all their power, it was impossible for them to keep Kakarot in a good condition so that at that moment, but from all over Kakarot's body, an Ozaru could be seen all over the place.
I will protect my master's body. He plans to surpass the celestial rank. For that reason, he has to take his body to the limit, since we are in the final round.
Final round? What do you mean?
Zalama was able to seal the last two gods for about 12 months, but in that time, Kakarot must have surpassed the power of Celestial Empire.
The entire essence of the gigantic Ozaru would begin to protect Kakarot's body, while inside Kakarot would take his body to the limit, so his muscles had grown exponentially. I, the mighty Kakarot! I'm not going to give up, damn it! Kakarot, with a loud roar, was able to break the barrier in front of him, being able to feel all that incredible power flowing throughout his body. Kakarot, before becoming unconscious, would enter that space full of power. I've overloaded my body. I'm surprised it didn't explode, but I've succeeded. Now, I'll have to master this power. Kakarot would be knocked out while all that great power became one with Kakarot. Meanwhile, on the outside, Kakarot seemed to be asleep, as he had even returned to his base state completely.
Apparently, he has been able to access a new level of power, but if what that beast told us is true, we still have to train.
Father, why at this time all of us merge? That among all the angels and gods we merge for 14 months.
Whis, you're right. Since then, we'll be able to do more to help Kakarot-sama. He'll even be able to have incredible power boost. Okay, that's what we'll do right now, so we can start training anyways.
Daishinkan was able to create a great pentagram in which they were able to unite unto one being. But before merging completely, Reich, the creator of the Celestial Kingdom, would grant them a much more resistant body and with the ability to increase their power much faster.
I want that old multiverse to survive, and that they can enjoy the life I once wanted.
Reich, I've seen what you've done, but why do you have your negative essence? And despite that, you're an honorable warrior.
I have committed unforgivable acts, but every day I try to remedy them, and I know that one day I'll find forgiveness.
I don't know what you've done, but with all this, I assure that you will be able to find forgiveness. Trust that, friend.
It's been a million years since anyone called me friend, but in this place, you're able to expel all your power. How about a battle?
Does the creator of the Heavenly Kingdom want to be defeated by me?
Don't make me laugh. You don't possess the power to be able to defeat me.
That's what I want us to check. Both warriors began to exchange hundreds of blows, but Reich, with his great manipulation of space, would make both appear in a far place away from the spiritual realm so as not to cause some damage. Zama was able to connect a powerful blow to him, which would make him retreat a few meters, while Reich, with a great dark power, created several negative energy shadows, which tried to stick to Zama's body, but the powerful god Zama was able to destroy each of his shadows with multiple energy attacks, but as it were a lightning bolt, Reich on his back connected a big blow, causing Zama to fall to the ground, very badly injured and being almost out of combat.
You're still powerful, but you lack experience on the battlefield. And also, would you fall to the ground vomiting blood? But he was very confused.
What the hell happened? I was the one who attacked you first. How's it possible that you did this damage to me?
You're correct. You attack it first, but I used my threads of fate to damage your internal organs.
Reich would hardly stand up.
So you're a great warrior that even does damage to the insides of the body.
This battle's getting very interesting. While both warriors were fighting, Mayuki watched as his king was not amused for hundreds of years. I'm glad to know that my king, with the arrival of Zama, would start entertaining. It seems that he'll return to the fights. Zama at the moment would fall into a big lake, but he was totally corrosive, since he was infected with this incredible negativity, in which Reich would also enter since he would not be affected by his own technique, but by trying to hit Zalama.
This hurts, damn it! King Lightning!
The great lightning was able to disintegrate the entire lake and cause great damage to both warriors, but the one which caused the most damage would be to Reich, since he had no defense, unlike Zama, who created a layer of energy around his body.
It's time to end this battle. Domain expansion! Dragon-like dumb.
A powerful dragon would pounce against Reich, who, despite being on the ground and with fatal wounds, would observe the incredible dragon would approach towards him.
So you use the domain expansion. That's interesting. Domain expansion! Empty infinity!
The powerful attack of Zalama would be devoured as if it were something tiny. Zama was surprised. He tried to throw another dragon again, but before using his technique, he would be stopped by several shadows.
Domain expansion. Shadow of the Assassin King.
All the shadows started blasting Zalma's power, but before they were able to take much more power from her, Zama would create a small explosion, disintegrating each of her shadows.
This is my last attack. You're powerful, Reich. Domain expansion, divine hands!
The most powerful attack of Zama would give appearance, the technique which he would defeat Reich. But Zama was surprised to observe the same technique, but the invocation of Reich was twice his size.
I too. Domain expansion, supreme divine hands!
Reich's divine hands completely crushed Zalma's technique, just like it would grant him several hundred blows, making him vomit blood and fall to the ground with a big smile.
What an awesome warrior. It'd be fun to train with you again after millions of years.
Reich would fall to the ground very badly injured, and with a big smile, Mayuki would approach both of them, helping them to recover. Meanwhile, in the dimension to which they had been sent, both gods, 8 months had already passed quickly, which had been able to raise their power to an incredible level.
We have only been able to find the exit, but apparently in 12 months it'll open. There are only 4 more months left. I, the Prince of the Underworld, once the head of Zama's successor.
Kakarot, in the 8 months have elapsed, he still did not wake up, but his power had risen in an incredible way, since he was training in his internal energy system.
Well, you have 4 months to be able to beat those wretches completely.
Meanwhile, we could observe a powerful warrior with a spear, destroying hundreds of debris, but his speed was unreal. That's right, this warrior was the fusion of all angels, and likewise bore the name of Daishinken, being the one who was in command of the fusion. The power that we have achieved in these 8 months was incredible. Will be a great help to Kakarot-sama, but I'm worried that he'll not wake up yet. Daishinken would continue with his great training. That's right, everyone was preparing for the great battle that is coming in a few months. Meanwhile, inside Kakarot, this one was again meditating.
This is my last month of meditation. I have to go back to the outside world to find out how the situation is.
Time would pass quickly, in which, on a certain day that Daishinken was training, he perceived how Kakarot's power would grow suddenly. That's right, when Kakarot woke up, his body had evolved, opting the ultra-perfect instinct as his new base state, and to be able to withstand much more energy load, Kakarot would shake all the planets of the 12 universes. But he was surprised to observe how a warrior approached him and was not affected by his pressure.
Who are you? How are you not affected in the least by my pressure?
Kakarot-sama, it's me, Daishinken. Only all the angels and gods have merged to be one with much more help.
This is incredible! His power is at least multiplied 1,000 times more.
Kakarot-sama praises me, but according to what his Ozaru informed us, the gods are about to leave that place in about 45 days.
Daishinken, do you feel ready to face them?
That's right.
And let's not think about all this anymore. Today we'll put an end to all this, since I'm able to invoke the same dimension to which my father sent you.
Kakarot, with his great power, was able to channel an incredible negative power, with which he managed to invoke the Great Gate, from which quickly both gods had appeared in front of them.
So you're the scum. You're only anticipated your imminent death.
Furious, Reich would pounce against Kakarot, but to everyone's surprise, Kakarot on this occasion, with only one of his hands, was able to stop the blow that on the previous occasion sent him flying.
You're not fighting the same warrior, so you better be prepared to die.
Reich, being able to say something, would be brutally beaten in his side, for which several of his ribs would be completely broken. Gelshin, trying to go to the aid of his companion, Daishinken would stand in front of the same.
I will be your opponent. I'll not allow you to interfere in the battle of Kakarot-sama.
You're nothing compared to me, so get out! It doesn't matter that you've merged with other warriors, you're still a piece of trash.
Both begin to exchange several blows, with which, destroying planets of all the universes, the beings of the Celestial Kingdom, they realized that the last battle had begun.
I trust you, Kakarot.
Reich would recover from that blow, releasing the power that left Zama amazed.
That's right, I also trained in that damn place that Zama sent to us.
Kakarot, without being surprised in the slightest, would begin to fight with that guy. But the fists of the Prince of the Underworld were trembling with every exchange.
This can't be happening. It can't be. You can't imagine the power I've gained to be able to end your pathetic life.
That's right, the incredible power that Kakarot had achieved in these months, he had been able to overcome Reich by hundreds of times. While the battle of Daishinkan and Gelshin, Daishinkan would begin to take the advantage because Gelshin, his specialty was silent combat.
Hell rays.
Hundreds of rays came out, fired against Daishinkan, which dodged each of the rays with a little difficulty. But each ray contained an incredible power. Daishinkan, when arriving in front of Gelshin, would stretch out one of his hands.
They woke up at the wrong time. Die, Celestial Eliminator!
Gelshin's body would be reduced to dust, as well as his soul, so that he would not be able to reincarnate again. Reich, observing how his companion was completely destroyed, would panic.
I'm not going to go to hell alone. I'll use the same technique that Zama's useless one uses in his finale, but I'll combine it with my negative energy. You would do that if you had the time or skill that my father had to create it. You're a simple fly by his side. Die.
A powerful dragon was able to pulverize Reich, the Prince of the Underworld. Kakarot, by possessing the power of Zalama, he was able to bring all the fallen warriors back to life and restoring all the 12 universes. But in front of them, a golden door would open from which Reich, the king of the celestial world, would appear.
Nice to meet you, Kakarot. You'll be the protector of these 12 universes, and very soon, you'll be able to be in the place where we are.
Live your life to the fullest, my son.
Of course I do, Father. Thank you for saving me.
Thus, Kakarot became a symbol of salvation in all the 12 universes.
Well, guys, this is all for today's chapter. I hope you liked it and it was to your liking. Now, don't forget to leave your powerful like, Supreme God level, comment, and subscribe. Now, without further ado, see you in a new video. Until next time.